Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me today as I figure out new ways to do stupid things. Basically, spending a lot longer than I anticipated running a single area comparison test with several mods that I wanted to see the download size of what the mod is supposed to be downloading for versus what it's actually downloading for on Skyrim Special Edition PS4 Slim patch 1.31. And let's just say that after seeing the size that some of these installed for, much more than what they're supposed to, it made me wonder exactly what was Bethesda's thought process when they tested this patch. I'm joking, of course. I highly doubt they were that professional. But in any case, so what you're going to be seeing in this video, in this single area, is several different comparisons of particular mods that I chose and the download size of what they're supposed to be versus what they actually are installing in my PS4 for Skyrim Special Edition. Now keep in mind, this is no fault of the mod of their own. It is because of the buggy patch of 1.31, and it is also subject to change in the future of what the download size is that you're seeing. If the mod is updated by the author, that could affect how much the mod downloads for. If a hotfix patch is released for 1.31, that could also affect it. But if you do decide to download and install any of these mods, please use caution at this time. Make certain, as always, to read the mod description, choose the correct version for your game, but also make certain that you have enough space, because some of these are downloading at a much larger file size than what is intended for them to download due to patch 1.31, and you could end up screwing up your game and locking yourself out of it. So this is the way that my game would have looked before patch 1.31, and now that I have more allotted space to be able to run these tests, here is the test for PS4 Fabled Forest 2K. This is a port to PlayStation by mod author Yearsmith's Beard. The mod was supposed to download for 83.38 megabytes. However, it installed for 260.55 megabytes. The next mod that I ran a download test for was a new port to PlayStation, I believe just came up recently, called Skyland AIO, also known as Skyland All-in-One. The mod is ported to PlayStation by mod author SkyKing 2020, and it was supposed to download for 1.99 gigabytes. However, it installed at 2.25 gigabytes. Now, as you notice with the road, which is much improved in the way that it looks, this mod does a lot of retexturing in game, which is the reason why it is a fairly large download size, so keep that in mind. So keeping the two previous mods active, the next download size test that I ran was for another mod by the same author, I think, that was very recently ported here as well, called SkyKing Fantasia Landscapes. Again, the mod ported to PlayStation by mod author SkyKing 2020. This mod was supposed to download for 525.27 megabytes, but for me it installed at 1 gigabyte. Now this mod is very similar, I would say, to Skyland All-in-One, at least a little bit. I got to take a look at it, and you'll notice that it retextured the road as well. I left both of them active and found that I had to place this mod after Skyland All-in-One, otherwise it looked to be, at least in this area, pretty much completely overwritten. I imagine it is overwriting pretty much everything in this area to do with Skyland All-in-One. However, I could be wrong about that. I have not had the time to run any actual real comparison tests, just these. So with each of those mods still active, I wanted to strip away the stonework, and I chose Simplest Roads PS4 PS5. This mod ported to PlayStation by mod author Adam Akash, probably not saying his name correctly. It is supposed to download for 14.9 KB, and surprisingly enough, it actually did go ahead and install for 14.9 KB. I had used this mod in the past to strip away stonework in running some comparison tests, and was surprised that it actually did go ahead and install for the same amount that it did back then. For the final test that I ran, I left everything active except simplest roads, which I disabled as it wasn't needed, as I used a complete road replacement that seems to be a standalone, which is called Vanaheimr Northern Roads 512 PS4. Most likely not saying the mod's name correctly. It was ported to PlayStation by mod author Kovic64, and it was supposed to download for 53.04 megabytes, but for me, it installed at 268.98 megabytes. So, again, I don't have, unfortunately, time to run a lot of comparison tests to see the differences that these mods make. They are very promising, very nice. I really like the Skyland All-in-One as well as Fantasia. But in any case, this was really to test and see about the download size and the differences, and I'm not going to do that with a lot of mods because this is my original character. I have to be careful. This is 6-year-old saves and I don't want to fuck them up, and I am taking caution. But in any case, of the tests that I've ran, it seems to be that only 2 mods have actually installed at the size that they say they're supposed to. Everything else, no matter the size of them, have installed for a much larger download size. And again, I do want to stress that it's not the fault of these mods. There's nothing wrong with them. It's not the fault of the authors, the porters. It is completely on Bethesda and this buggy patch that they have released. Hopefully, they will get a hotfix out soon, allow us to keep the allotted space that they have given us, because it was very generous for the amount that they gave. I do appreciate that. It would just be nice if we could actually use it without these mods taking up so much more of it than they should be taking up. So in any case, I hope that this information might prove helpful to you, and just be careful at this time. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Hope it helped you out. Take care. This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin via the Eyes Only Informant Net. Peace out.